Nun sitze ich hier mit Louis Germain von der Loire, aus der Loire. Das ist auch so ein Thema, was mir noch keiner richtig beibringen konnte, wie es wirklich heißt. Jedenfalls einer unserer ganz lieben französischen Winzer, zweite Generation, Weingut Roche Neuf. Ich werde jetzt in Englisch mit dem Louis reden, damit ihr uns auch alle schön versteht. So, Louis, welcome to Attersee. It's a great pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
It's a few years now that we are working together. And I don't know if you know, but it was a journey that my parents did through Loire Valley. And they visited your dad, actually. I think they only met your dad at the time. And my father called me and said, now I found again a crazy guy that we have to list. And I was like, oh my God, because we were in the beginning. It was our real beginning. And I was like, Papa, please, you cannot travel around and find crazy people. And he said, you will see, it's exactly the character that we need. It's the Kate&Kon Wolf family, Circus Wolf dream. So in the end, he was the guy who founded all this business, and of course, I knew that this will be very interesting, and we started a small corporation. After a few years, your dad and your mom came to Austria. We traveled around the country, and your wines became more and more popular here. And I have to say today, you are one of our dear partners, and when it comes to Loire, our portfolio is not extremely big, and we are very honored to work with you and to follow your family. And it's such a great pleasure that you are now here, because in the end, we are kind of one generation, and it's always nice to see that there is the next generation coming around. So how is your feeling about your stay here in Austria and the market and what you saw the last days?
Thank you for all these words. My feeling, it's a good feeling. I'm here in Austria since 2 days. I already meet some customers, and it's a beautiful thing. I could say that I'm well represented. I love the way my wines are sold here, and because you are putting a lot of emotions in selling the wines, and not only telling technical sheets. You told the story about your father who was coming in my estate. We met my father. I think it's all the basics of a partnership with my importer. I couldn't work with an importer who didn't came at my home. And Thomas told me, the guy who was working for you, told me that he came with you already. And so I could see that there is a lot of emotion in selling the wines, and there is this family team who is behind my wines, and that's why my feelings are really great to
That's great to hear. I have to say, we did this journey with the entire team a few years ago. And since then, I keep telling people that the most spectacular and touching visit I've ever had when it comes to vineyards and people was with your father in the vineyard. I think I have to say, everybody who can make it to Loire and see you should do this, because it opens a total different idea of what wine growing and wine vinifying means. How would you explain your style and your ideas and your feelings when it comes to winemaking?
I think my style in my wines are based on freshness and balance. Everything is about balance. Balance in life, balance in the way you do the wines, and balance in the wines themselves. When my father started to do wines in the 90s, the wines was totally different than they are today. He was coming from Bordeaux, and the wines was at the image of the Bordeaux wines at those times. And my father didn't really like this image, so he wanted to bring back to something more fresh, with something more linked to the terroirs. That's why he decided to arrive in Saumur. Everything in the way to do the wine is done thanks to biodynamic farming, organic farming, is done in the respect of the plant. I think that all the love that you will give to the plant will give it back to you. And I think it's one of the thing who can explain, for example, the vintage 21. 21 was a hard vintage. I want to forget totally the harvest, because the harvest was really hard, and the experience of my father was there, thanks God, because if I would have been alone on this vintage, I think we wouldn't have the same wine than today. But at the end, the wines are probably one of the best vintage we ever made, and we are not able to explain it, except if we could say that all the love that we gave to the plant just gave it back to us. So yeah, I think it's all about respect of people, respect of the team, respect of. I think it's probably the same philosophy than Kate&Kon. You see, like working as a family and working in the respect of each other and the respect of your products.
Yeah, it's totally in line, and I cannot say anything more. I think I will now switch again to German, because I want to say something to the audience about my last experience 2 days ago. That's better in German. Das ist auch das erste Mal, dass wir ein solches Gespräch in 2 Sprachen führen und mit einem französischen Produzenten. Aber ich muss euch einfach sagen, dass ich vor 2 Tagen einen Dreierflight Cabernet Franc probiert habe, der mich einfach komplett beeindruckt hat. Ich muss ehrlich sagen, dass ich das Weingut jetzt die letzten 10 Jahrgänge intensiv begleite, und alles, was er jetzt gerade gesagt hat mit der Liebe und der Balance, das trifft zu 100% zu, und das findet man in den Weinen wieder. Und wenn man diesen Weinen ein bisschen Luft gibt, wir haben sie so circa 3 Stunden dekantiert und dann wieder zurück in die Flasche, dann muss man sagen, dann hat man ein Cabernet Franc-Erlebnis, welches seinesgleichen sucht, und eine einzigartige Momentaufnahme, die wir da hatten. Und ich kann euch allen nur empfehlen, das zu probieren, weil Cabernet Franc auf dem Niveau zu probieren ist nichts, was man so alle Tage ins Glas bekommt. We are proud to import your wines. We are happy to import your wines, and I have to say, the greatest thing today is that we can see that the story is going on with you, with us, and that will make your dad so proud. And I'm really happy that you are here, that you take the time with us. And
Thank you. Happy to be here.